Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Welcome to the final at the 2024 VLA Cup, a monstrous tournament with a grand total of 111 matches played in 3 days, and it all comes down to this. The Chicago ICEMEN, the founding 5 Tier 1 franchise from Chicago, Illinois, takes on the River City Flow, this year's Central Division Cup champion, a Tier 2 team out of Richmond, Virginia, for the VLA Cup title and for the bragging rights of having won the largest professional level volleyball tournament in American history. 42 teams, 111 matches, 1 cup already awarded. Congratulations to the Midwest Magic for winning the Women's VLA Cup just before this. One more trophy ready to go to the winner of this one between Chicago and River City. These two teams played in pool play at the Central Division Cup tournament, which the Flow went on to win. Flow beat the ICEMEN in that match 3-1. Some different casts of characters for both teams, but also some similarities. River City Flow beat Team LVC out of Albany, New York, 3-0 in the semifinal to get here. The Chicago ICEMEN beat their crosstown rivals, the Chicago Swede, 3-1 in the other semifinal. My name is Rob St. Clair, by the way. Thank you very much all for tuning in live on the VLA YouTube channel from Madison, Wisconsin, the beautiful Madtown Juniors volleyball facility. They have been a tremendous host to us this entire event. Not very many places in the country we could pull off a tournament of this scale, and tremendous work by Cooper Chemnitz, Caitlin Virag, the whole staff here at Madtown, hosting us the whole weekend long, and it is very exciting to be able to call this game and see who is going to walk away from this tournament the champions of the biggest in league history. Looks to me like the teams are just about ready to go. I'm very curious about what the Chicago ICEMEN, who start on the near side in light blue, are going to do at the opposite position. No Colin Hackworth this weekend, no Griffin Shields out with an ankle injury. They've been rocking kind of a 3 outside hitter look with Kyle Overby, Lewis Richard, and Matt Slavinsky in some orientation. It looks like it will be Slavinsky and Overby as the traditional outside hitters, and Lewis Richard will line up at opposite and kind of play a Swiss Army knife role, as Matt Slavinsky, the superstar Division III stud out of Carthage, gets us underway serving on the near side. Heck of an aggressive serve, and immediately a brilliant dig by Enrique Barajas, who starts at libero very interestingly for the ICEMEN, and get used to seeing a lot of that. If you're familiar with VLA volleyball, you have seen Joe Kaliakamoa, number 10 in white, suiting up for River City Flow this tournament. Several-time champion of VLA Cup events, several-time MVP of VLA Cup events. The superstar setter out of BYU has the ball in his hands and will throughout this match for the Flow. Excellent pass, and immediately to the middle, Zach Bultice, number 14 in light blue, another Division III product out of Carthage in southeastern Wisconsin. Beautiful delivery there by another brilliant setter, Sunil Thomas, number 5 in blue out of Ohio State, a 2-time national champion. Off the block and out of bounds goes another really interesting pickup for the Flow, Trent Moser, number 16 in white, the outside hitter. Started his collegiate career at Brigham Young, will transfer this upcoming year to Grand Canyon. He's only about 20 years of age, 6'8" monster of an outside hitter. What a pass there by Slavinsky, and pounded in the middle by Amir Lugo Rodriguez. Welcome back to the VLA, Amir. He's been playing for the ICEMEN since 2022. Didn't play at all last season. He's been coaching the women's team at UCLA. He's a Southern California born and raised boy. But he spent some time coaching in Chicago, got into this ICEMEN program, and travels to meet up and play with them whenever he can. Here is Thomas from the baseline. Serve and pass is going to be a massive story in this match. And our first legit look in transition as Nestor Payne didn't connect in the middle, and Lewis Richard, the national champion from Long Beach State, on the right side goes down the line and makes the flow pay. And this is what I'm really interested to see. The Icemen rocking this 3 outside hitter look. Can Richard be a threat on the right? You know who is a threat on the right? Randy DeWeese, number 14 in white for the River City Flow. Thomas again. Wow, look at that set from Joe Kawiyakamoa, but a monstrous stuff block straight down from Kyle Overby. That is a tone setter. He almost had a Joe Kawiyakamoa highlight with the reverse-handed back set, but that highlight turned on a dime real quick. Kyle Overby, first team all VLA multiple times, and a first team all league history stuff block right there. That was insane. More great serving from Thomas. A serve right on cue. What a start for the Chicago Icemen. 5-2. Liam Maxwell, number 6 in white, gets the started outside hitter for the Flow. The outside out of Belmont Abbey, who just once again won the Conference Carolinas and played in the NCAA tournament a few weeks ago. Working on Moser this time is Thomas, and another straight down block. Lewis Richard with the right hand slam block on Maxwell this time. What a start for the Chicago Icemen. Jacob Riley starts at libero for the Flow. At least this Flow lineup is noticeably different than the one that won their semifinal against Team LBC. Different opposite, different libero, different outside hitter. A little shell-shocked here early. Really good pass there by Riley out of Concordia Irvine. And a beautiful put away by Nestor Payne, number 13 in white, the middle out of Virginia Tech. Teammates with Flow captain and founder Sam Albus at the NCVF level. Back in about the 2015 time frame was Nestor Payne. And that's an ace serve. Wow, I don't know if I've ever seen Nestor serve like that. That was filthy. I've seen Nestor Payne play a lot of volleyball. I had the misfortune of playing middle blocker against him for many years while I was at Purdue. He was at Virginia Tech. He never had a jump spinner back in those days, although he misses that one out of bounds. Kyle Overby back to serve, back in the state of Wisconsin playing volleyball, where he has had a lot of success, reigning open champion of the Wapaka Boat Ride Grass Volleyball Tournament. Very prestigious tournament to win. Overby comes up short right there. Langston Payne, number 5 in white, enters the game in the middle for the Flow. Now Randy DeWeese, one of the scariest servers in the tournament, back to try and do some damage, the opposite out of UC Santa Barbara. Good dig there by Moser. Moser with a swing chance out of the back row, off the block and out of bounds. That's an insane individual play by number 16 in white. Dig to transition. And interestingly, I think the Chicago Icemen are using 2 different liberos. We see Colin Merck in right now in reception. We saw Enrique Barajas in earlier. I'll see if there's a pattern to that in a few points, I suppose. That serve missed out of bounds that time by DeWeese. First look from the service line at Amir Lugo Rodriguez. Started his career at Cal Baptist before that program was cut, then transferred to Long Beach State. Excellent slow down block touch there against Liam Maxwell. Now Richard against 2 blockers, tipped over the top and down. Really nice off-speed choice. Wow, that ball is torched. No chance for Thomas on defense on that one. Now Liam Maxwell back to serve, trailing by 2. River City Flow, if they were to win this tournament, I mean, they've amassed a ton of points this event already, but they could steal pole position of the next East Division team to get promoted to VLA Tier 1. That is a gorgeous swing by Richard, who looks very good on the right side early. I am liking this lineup configuration for the Chicago ICEMEN. I think they discovered this midway through their match against their crosstown rivals from Sweden in this morning's semifinals. It started with Overby on the right and Richard on the left, and switched that midway through the match, and it's working pretty well so far. Good dig there by Barajas. He's in as the defensive libero. Now Overby out of the back row flies. Doug. Riley is there. And a nice recycle shot there by DeWeese. Ooh, Moser kept alive easily by Overby. Now Slavinsky with a chance to terminate, and he does. Deep cross court off the fingertips and down. That is really high level volleyball by both teams. And I thought the Flow had a pretty good chance to terminate on that play and weren't able to capitalize. Richard, a very effective float server here. DeWeese out of the back row, pounded down the line, and Barajas, who's in as the defensive libero, exits now to make way for Merck, who's in as the reception libero. Two libero system employed here for the Chicago ICEMEN, and River City Flow have two outstanding ones as well, and Jacob Riley and Jordan Robinson. Richard, conservative shot against three blockers. Now Moser in transition, rolled, and the off speed finds the floor. Very nice choice by the big youngsters headed to Grand Canyon this next season. Langston Payne back to serve, the middle blocker out of George Mason. Nice high rip off the block and out of bounds by Matt Slavinsky. Spent this year overseas in the German Bundesliga playing for Ludenberg with several other North Americans. So Team LVC's Blake Leeson was over there. Famous out-of-system libero Gage Worsley was over there. Slavinsky comes up short from the service line that time. Kaliakamoa back to serve, who is explosive early from the center spot, as he often is. Got a lot of service options. This will be a float serve. Targeting Slavinsky, he is up to the task. Overby straight over the block of DeWeese, kept alive and sent over. Ooh, Richard wasn't ready to hit that ball. Moser handles it. Now DeWeese in transition, deep cross court, and missed out of bounds. I did not see a touch there. Nope, no touch called. Zach Bultice back to serve, number 14 in blue, middle blocker out of Carthage in his first VLA season. It's been very impressive. The ICEMEN looking to go back to the Tier 1 playoffs in a couple weeks. Roll shot swatted down by Overby. Amazing coverage by Riley, and DeWeese finds some space short in front of Richard. This is a high-level start to this championship match. Hope you all are comfortable wherever you're watching from in the world and ready for potentially a long one here. Moser changes up his serve. Merck is there. Slavinsky out of the back row off of Riley and out of bounds. Really nice setting by Sunil Thomas. Keep the back row quick hitter, or the Bic hitter, Slavinsky, the outside hitter in the back row, involved in the offense. Thomas back to serve, already has an ace. Barajas, the defensive libero, number 1 in dark blue, in for the ICEMEN. Pretty good fight off pass there by Riley. DeWeese slowed down by an excellent block touch. Transition chance, Overby against three blockers, is rejected. Can't be covered. Pretty good dig there, but the second touch looked a little bit hesitant for which ICEMEN player was going to grab that ball, and nowhere for Overby to go against 6 hands up in front of him. Now Tanner Maxwell, number 4 in white, into serve. I'm still not sure if there's any relation between him and Liam Maxwell. I'll have to go figure that out. Overby against the one-on-one. Liam Maxwell with an excellent touch. Now Payne in transition. It's Langston Payne. I'm also not sure if there's any relation between him and Nestor Payne. We got 2 sets of guys on the float team with the same last name, and I do not know if they're all related or not. Break point there on the serve of Tanner Maxwell. 1-point game. First set of this best 3 out of 5 set championship match for the 2024 VLA Cup tournament. Overpass by Merck, a rare error there. Maxwell for the tie, off the block and out of bounds. Tied up at 14. Off the float serve of Tanner Maxwell, of all the service runs to generate for the boys from Richmond. That's a little more like the Kyle Overby we're used to seeing. More good defense, now a free ball for Chicago. Do you go back to him? No, Slavinsky out of the back row, crushed off the defense of Tanner Maxwell into the ceiling and out of bounds. The ceiling in this facility, Madtown Juniors, is plenty high enough that we're playing the international rule where ball into the ceiling is out of bounds immediately. Chicago retakes the lead, Overby back to serve. Deweese on the right side, beautiful scoop by Barajas down the line. Slavinsky in transition, blocked and can't be covered. 4 perfectly placed hands. Deweese and Langston Payne. 15 all. Deweese back to serve, who is very scary. He missed his first one. Wow. Slavinsky fights enough, but it's an overpass. Free ball chance. Kawi Akamoa, the very offensive setter, takes a swing and missed it out of bounds. He wants a net violation. I didn't see one. That is the scouting report. When you play against Joe Kaliakamoa, you need to be ready for him to attack every conceivable ball when he's a front court setter. But the Icemen catch a break there with him hitting it out of bounds and not getting whatever call he's begging for. Rotation 4 received now for the flow. Don't be surprised at all if Joe K throws this one down. The ball's passed well enough. Lugo Rodriguez to serve. Decent pass by Moser. Deweese out of the back row. Excellent slow down touch by Bultice. Transition chance. Bultice blocked and covered. Slavinsky gets up high, goes 4-4. Look at that kid fly through the air. That is insane. Only about 6'1" maybe is Matt Slavinsky, but he is so physical. You think a ball's set too high for him, you think he's jumping too early, and then he just keeps going up in the air. Langston Payne, beautiful shoulder work inside out, no stopping that. But the Icemen lead is 1. Excellent shot off the block and out of bounds by Richard. Kaliakamoa still in the front court. The Icemen blockers communicating. Richard keeps it in play on the short float serve. There is the setter throwdown right on cue. Slavinsky was there, but got beat to the inside. Scouting report holding true on that one. And now Sam Albus, the founder and captain of this River City franchise, also the head coach of Lise McRae University's men's volleyball team, off the bench as a service specialist. Excellent pass. Overby out of the back row against no blockers. That ball was crushed and caught by Randy Deweese. Albus goes back to the bench. Chicago has achieved their side out, 19-17. Getting interesting here late in the first. Matt Slavinsky trying to provide some insurance from the baseline. Relatively conservative there. Maxwell out of the back row, through the block of Bultice. A really nice adjustment. Hittable chance for Richard. Deep cross court and inbounds. What an adjustment play by Zach Bultice. Ball went right through his hands, and he somehow found it fast enough to punch it up in the air. And then a hittable chance for Lewis Richard that he capitalizes upon. That is an incredible play for the Icemen to generate a break point. And timeout flow. Not surprised there. 20-17 Chicago late in the first. Out of the timeout, the Chicago Icemen looking for their first VLA Cup win ever. Both of these teams have been late in this particular tournament before. The Icemen finished third 2 years ago. River City Flow finished sixth 2 years ago in the VLA Cup. The Icemen, the 2023 Central Division Cup champion. River City Flow, the 2024 Central Division Cup champion. That is a laser of a serve by Slavinsky out of the timeout. Moser slowed down by a double block. Great chance here. Slavinsky out of the back row, flies. Riley is underneath it, somehow kept alive, but a free ball chance for the Icemen. Thomas, Bultice finds the floor in the middle. The run continues. Zach Bultice punches it to the floor. Or does he? Yeah, he does. I thought for a second that body language is as if River City had won that point. Slavinsky has served some bullets, and now with a 4-point lead, look for him to have a green light special on this one. Oh yeah, he was going for it to say the least, and stepped on the service line in doing so by quite a noticeable margin. So good run though for Slivs, as they call him. 18-21 Flow trails. Kawiyakamoa serving. And now what the Icemen can do with 3 outside hitters on the court is bring Richard in as a receiver. Ooh, that's set by Thomas to Overby, not particularly good. Nothing Overby could do to keep the ball in play. Flow grab a break point on the misconnection. It's 19-21. Gotta have nerves of steel after point 20. Especially in a championship match, which I think goes without saying. Perfect pass there by Slavinsky. Overby straight over the top of the block. Look at that physicality. Kyle Overby straight over DeWeese for the Icemen kill 22-19, and now the founder of the franchise, Tim Faulkner, the 2021 VLA MVP, founding member of the league's board of directors. Number 2 in white off the bench to serve. Perfect pass by Riley. Another crazy flick to the right side by Kawiyakamoa, and Moser plants that off-speed shot right on the white sideline. So Faulkner goes back to the bench. Moser to serve. Still got, hopefully, a fruitful NCAA career ahead of him. He will transfer to Grand Canyon this next season, like I mentioned. But he's got an opportunity here to come up with a big-time serve, trailing by 2. And he can't quite do so. 23-20 Chicago. Sunil Thomas. One of the best servers in the league. Already has an ace in this first set. Perfect pass by Riley. Right down the line goes DeWeese. What a great piece of arm action that is. Randy DeWeese, a really unique player. Started his career at UC Santa Barbara as a setter. Was then switched to the opposite and went overseas, had a decent career over in Germany. now back at his alma mater as an assistant coach. That serve is missed, and it is set point ICEMEN, 24-21. Kyle Overby with the honors. Where does Kaliakamoa want to go here? Rotation 3 receive. Excellent pressure, handled very nicely by Liam Maxwell. Moser out of the back row, no block up. Beautiful first ball side out play for the Flow. But that is the easy part. 22 serving 24. Randy DeWeese is exactly the guy you want at the service line in this situation. 2 more set point chances for the ICEMEN in reception. And they get it the easy way. DeWeese comes up short, and first blood in the 2024 VLA Cup final drawn by Chicago. The ICEMEN take the first 25-22. And we've still got lots more volleyball to play, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Rob St. Clair, and you already know what this is. This is the beautiful, very shiny, you can almost see my reflection in it, the 2024 VLA Cup trophy. We're already handed out one of these. Once again, congratulations to the Midwest Magic's women's team for winning their second VLA Cup in a row. Both these teams familiar with cup hardware, but not the big one. We've got 4 VLA Cup Series tournaments that the league plays every year, East, West, and Central divisions, and then the big one. And you already know what this one is. It's the big one. And the ICEMEN draw first blood against the River City Flow. I will be handing this out at the end of the match. I do not know who's going to win it yet. It is far too early to call, and these two teams are far too good. The Flow has lots of options on the bench that they could go to. I won't speculate or call for any substitutions, but if that's what they decide is necessary, they've got really good options. Tanner Maxwell has played great at outside hitter this tournament. Jordan Robinson has played great at libero this tournament. Sam Albus has played great at opposite this tournament. And on the ICEMEN side, they're kind of rolling with what they have almost out of necessity, with no true opposite on the roster without their 2 main guys, Colin Hackworth and Griffin Shields. They've found something that's working for them with Lewis Richard, a more ball control oriented outside hitter, actually lining up on the right side. And just the flexibility that allows them in different serve receive rotations to bring different guys into pass, to move different guys to hit in different spots. It's worked really well for Chicago so far, and I'm impressed with their innovation and ability to adapt with the guys that they have to keep the level of volleyball extremely, extremely high. So some very interesting and high-level conversations going on both sidelines right now in between sets. We'll get back to the action here in just a minute, but once again, while we can, I want to thank you all for joining us. Got a lot of people to thank. I'll continue to do so throughout the match, but first and foremost, Michael and Kyung Wooten from Austin, Texas. Our live stream producers, bringing all this camera gear, 7 cameras, a ridiculous production of 111 matches this weekend. Couldn't do it without Michael and Kyung. Give them a subscribe at their YouTube channel, Team Woot. Michael, you guys going to be at Adult Nationals next weekend? No, unfortunately. They've got some good content for the last couple years. All right, we'll continue the shout-outs as the match goes on, but for now, we've got action to start set number 2. Well, sure enough, ladies and gentlemen, it is Tanner Maxwell, number 4 in white, who replaces Liam Maxwell as the starting outside hitter in this second set for the River City Flow. On the Chicago side, on the far side, no changes, predictably. Wow, what a touch there by Moser, almost standing on the ground as he slowed that ball down. And DeWeese pulls the trigger on the right side in transition. And a sweet looking play for the Flow to grab a break point to start this second set. That ball is in, yes. Kaliakamoa with a great start, 2-0 Flow. that ball off the block and out of bounds. Sorry, I'm wearing a lot of hats right about now, trying to still run the rest of these matches that are all going on. The rest of the gym slowly starting to wrap everything up and have all attention here in the building focused on this final. Although all attention for all you watching and everybody around the world has been following along around the country, around the world, and throughout the weekend watching this one here. Excellent slow down touch. Bull Tice in the middle is stuffed straight down by Payne. Excellent blocking fundamentals there by Nestor Payne, staying in front of his opposing middle blocker, reacting, getting those hands across the net fast. When Nestor Payne stuff blocks the ball, it just sounds a little bit different. Trent Moser. Pretty good pass. Overby on a high ball against two blockers, hangs and taps it off the block and out of bounds. The net in men's volleyball stands at 8 feet. Actually, I think it might be 7 feet, 11 and a half inches or something like that. But the game at this level is played so much higher than that. DeWeese ripped off the fingertips of the block and out of bounds. And we'll see what sort of effect Nestor Payne can have once again from the service line. Ooh, that ball is moving weird. That one didn't have enough true topspin on it to catch a piece of the floor, but if that ball's in bounds, there's potential to be pretty nasty. We already saw one from Payne in the first set. 3 serving 4 early in the second here for Sunil Thomas, who he and his wife Tina just announced they're pregnant with their second child. So congrats to them. Wow, incredible that DeWeese was even able to take a swing at that, but he just barely misses the baseline on the far side. Break point there for the Icemen. That allows Thomas another chance to serve. Cuts that one short. Maxwell underneath it, and the off speed in the middle by Langston Payne. You don't see off speed in the middle all that much, at least not intentionally like that one was, but it's really effective because it gets on you so fast and takes away the advantage of reaction time that you sometimes have on off speed from the wings. DeWeese chopping that ball off the tape from the service line. Perfect pass. Overby right down the line. Tattoos of Mikasa right into this Terraflex in Madison. A one-on-one highlight reel bomb from Overby. Man, if any of you have played volleyball anywhere near the Midwest, you've probably seen that man do a lot of that. You can never get enough of watching Kyle Overby play volleyball. Tanner Maxwell back to serve, who's been a setter for most of his career. Played at Grand Canyon in Phoenix, who just finished in the Final Four of the men's NCAA tournament a few weeks ago. Look at that from Kelly Akamoa. Love it. He gets a lot of kills, especially relative to setters, but that's one of the easy ones. That ball did not come out of Thomas's hands the way he wanted to on the Icemen's side, certainly, but correct no call from our up official. No double contact calls in the VLA as long as the ball is set in one continuous motion and the ball stays on your team's side. Great dig there by DeWeese. He tries to capitalize upon it, but missed it out of bounds, didn't get the block touch. Icemen off the hook in that particular case. Six serving 7 for Amir Lugo Rodriguez. That is not a very good pass by Riley. Kawiakamoa able to save it, but then DeWeese hits it out of bounds again. 2 errors in a row. In like tricky, like weird out of system situations for sure, but at this level, that's your job as the opposite. You got to take weird balls And at the very least, keep him in bounds, if not score. We're tied up at 7 after the 2 hitting errors in a row. Moser pounded through the block of Bull Tice. Man, that cross court opened up late. I thought the ICEMEN blockers were on that thing. Payne staying down with the float serve. Not a particularly good pass by Merck, but an outstanding set by Thomas. Pineapple attempted, but Merck is there. Slavinsky again, rolled and recycled. All the way back to Richard, rolled, that ball is down. Good off-speed choice as Kawayakamoa and Maxwell converge. Hopefully both of them are okay, it looks like they are. So you gotta be real worried about finger or hand injuries when 2 players go to pancake the same ball like that. Payne doesn't get full connection on that middle ball. Nice diving play by Overby. Richard off the block and out of bounds. Fantastic high flat swing. All started with a brilliant diving play by Kyle Overby to his left. And Richard taking out the trash, doing the normal opposite job, although that is not typically his position. It is today. Ooh, not a good pass there by Maxwell. This is a free ball. Richard again off the block. Amazing pickup by Riley, but that is over the antenna. That ball's definitely out of bounds. No call. I'm stunned by that, but it doesn't matter as Slavinsky takes care of it anyway. That ball was definitely out of bounds, straight over the top of the antenna. But it did not matter. And the ICEMEN extend their lead to 2, 10-8. Really nice run here. 5-1, if I'm not mistaken, is the current run for Chicago. Oh my goodness, that ball barely trickles over the tape. Moser sends it over. Slavinsky waits, challenges the double block and chops it 4-4. Moser was not ready for that. Neither was I. I didn't know that shot was possible from where Slavinsky was. And the run continues. The ICEMEN are putting in work in this service rotation right now. That is just out of bounds. Chicago might disagree. So saw Slavinsky signal for a challenge. We don't have challenges here, but he's used to it playing over in Germany. Pretty good pass by Merck. Slavinsky again, nice high flat swing. Maxwell is there, but it's sent back over to Chicago side, but unfortunately, at least for Chicago, because they had a free ball chance, a stray volleyball comes in from the neighboring court and triggers a replay. That is a break for sure for the River City Flow. Bull Tice in the middle. I love that set from Thomas, because if the ball hadn't come on the previous play, Thomas was going right there to the middle. Wanted to make sure that one counted in the record books. And it is 12-9 ICEMEN. Slavinsky back to serve, who has been awesome in his first action for the ICEMEN this season since coming back home from Germany. Wow, what a rocket of a serve. What an awesome swing that is by Randy DeWeese. That is so good. 6 hands in front of him, hits it hard, high, right off the fingertips and away from the defenders. Can't do it any better than that as far as out-of-system attacking goes. Plus, he did it on the left side. Not a position where a lot of opposites are super comfortable. Ooh, Moser comes up short, a little indecisive looking with that serve in my opinion. Bull Tice back to serve for the ICEMEN. 3-point lead. Not a great pass by Moser. DeWeese slowed down by Overby. Slavinsky is there, but it doesn't matter. The ICEMEN block touched the net on the way down. Liam Maxwell, who started the match at outside hitter, this time in as a serving specialist. Puts Lewis Richard under some pressure. Overby blocked by Payne and inbounds. Excellent move by Langston Payne. The block coming alive for the River City Flow. Payne, part of that team that won the Central Division Cup this year, the first in the Flow franchise's history. This time it's Slavinsky that steps out of the passing pattern for the Icemen. Merck puts up a dime, and Lugo Rodriguez is shut down. Another block by Langston Payne. 2 in a row, and Deweese was there as well. Number 5 in white making a big-time impact. Good serving by Liam Maxwell as well. Oh, I thought that had a chance of catching the sideline. Maxwell just out of bounds, but a very good substitution there for the Flow. Back now within 1. Got a lot of friends of the VLA, friends of everybody watching from around the world. Will Kraft, Scott Sawicki, current and former Iceman, Jesus Itsagire, champion of the West Division Cup this season. Shout out to all you guys. We appreciate you all watching. Out of system scramble here. Overby chops it over. Moser out of the back row, absolutely destroyed. What a great set by Kaliakamoa. No blockers anywhere close. It is the prettiest play in volleyball, in my opinion, and the opinion of many, that back row quick combination play. The BIC, popularized by the Brazilian men's national team in the early 2000s, and now a staple of high-level offenses everywhere on the planet. That ball is out of bounds, ripped by Deweese, didn't quite catch the baseline. Pretty good pressure there by Overby, handled brilliantly by Riley. Nice touch by Lugo Rodriguez. Oh, wow, look at that. Kaliakamoa feinted the attack, pulled a blocker, but then the set didn't connect well enough with Langston Payne, who came up short. I don't know if that ball was underset or if Payne wasn't ready for it or what the deal was there, but that is a rare mistake when Joe Kaliakamoa is involved as a front court setter. And a costly one. 16-14 Icemen now. Overby working on Moser, forces the overpass. Lugo Rodriguez, nice touch by Kaliakamoa, who gets back up and slams down his own rebounds. That is an amazing individual effort by number 10 in white to help on the quick. Have that ball deflect straight up in the air and then react to jump up and throw it down with 2 hands. That is incredible from the several-time MVP. Tanner Maxwell, not a good pass by Merck. Slavinsky straight over the top, no touch, we are tied. Not a great pass by Slavinsky. Now Richard has to try and bail him out, which he does. Off, I think, the head of the blocker Moser and into the ceiling. Well, if that ball hadn't caught the ceiling, it had a chance of landing in bounds. Again, these ceilings are high. If you're, I do like to say that if you're getting your head hit in the blocking game, it does mean you're in the right spot. So I'll give Moser that. Deweese out of the back row, slowed down well. Back to Kaliakamoa, who takes a swing. Man, you can scout for it all you want. You can know that he wants to do it, but it doesn't matter in some cases when you're playing against the great Joe K. Pretty good pass there from Merck. Slavinsky slowed down by an excellent touch. DeWeese in transition, blocked. Ooh, that ball is not touched by the block, and River City disagrees. And our up official immediately says, get away from me with those complaints. The ball is out of bounds, ICEMEN point. That ball deemed to have not touched the block. And there's no debate about this. This is the official's call and her judgment. And Sam Albus is letting her hear about it. Nothing he can do though. ICEMEN point. And Albus, who came in there as a serving specialist, will go back to the bench. Lewis Richard to serve. This was a very productive rotation for the ICEMEN last time around. And another not great pass by Maxwell, and far too aggressive of a set by Kaliakamoa, attempting the bump 31 to Nestor Payne, who hits it way out of bounds. I don't know about that choice. I don't know about that choice. Not a necessary choice in that situation, and the flow pays for it. And very good read by Richard on the setter dub. But unfortunately, the set by Overby can't be brought back by Slavinsky, at least for the ICEMEN. 1 point game as Kaliakamoa goes to the service line. Wow, what a gorgeous combination play. Kyle Overby skies out of the back row and pounds it through the seam. (20-18). ICEMEN must side out this ball if you're the River City Flow. Matt Slavinsky serving against Flow. Rotation 1 receive. Could be a turning point right here, and it is! Right on cue, Matt Slavinsky torches an ace serve. Off of Riley, diving to his right. 21-18. That is a massive break point for Chicago. Can he do it again? Not this time. Riley ducks out of the way. Trent Moser. Got to serve in and with pressure. He does not. The ball is in on the sideline, but long. And once again, we see Tim Faulkner. His list of accolades is long. Co-founder of the league, member of the board of directors, former MVP into serve. But he comes up short. Not a good service error, and I'm sure Faulkner would tell you the same thing. Nestor Payne stays in to serve because he was already substituted out once. Can't go to the bench again, and it punishes the Flow as it produces a service error out of bounds. 23-20 Chicago. Sunil Thomas and the ICEMEN are closing in on a 2-0 lead if they can get 2 more points. Really good pass by Maxwell. And on the give and go, Tanner Maxwell exploits the seam in the block. The River City Flow are very much alive as Randy DeWeese goes back to the baseline. Richard, Slavinsky, and Merck in the reception unit to try and fight off this serve. Rotation 1 receive. Overby on the right side is a primary option. Beautiful pass by Richard off the tape. Sure enough, Overby on the right gets the ball and misses it out of bounds. Doesn't get the fingertips or the sideline. It is a 1-point game. And that ball was passed perfectly. That is a big missed opportunity for Chicago. I think that they know it, and they call time out. Drama here late in the second set of the VLA Cup final. 1-point game. huge, huge, huge point. Can Randy DeWeese put in some service pressure? Yes, he can! Ace serve, Randy DeWeese off the tape and inbounds. It is 23-all. Unbelievable service heroics from DeWeese, and remember that point previously before the timeout where the Icemen got a perfect pass and Overby committed the unforced error. Now basically a deuce situation until now. Another ace serve for Randy DeWeese. It's set point River City. A massive turn of events here late. Do the Icemen have another timeout? They do, and I think they're going to use it. Yes, they will. Unbelievable turn of events. What a service run by Randy DeWeese. Out of the timeout, the Icemen have called 2 timeouts in this same run to try and slow down this man. Randy DeWeese has 2 aces in a row. Set point River City, 24-23. Can he do it again? Easy serve this time. Overby pounded sharp cross court against the one-on-one. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got overtime in the second set of this final, just like the second set of the women's final, which went to 32-30. First to win 2 points, to get 2 points clear, excuse me, and this set here takes the second set. How deep will we go? We've had some crazy ones. We had a 42-44 earlier today. We had a 49-47 on Friday. Big block, Amir Lugo Rodriguez. The Icemen have set points. Tanner Maxwell is shut down. Kyle Overby now to serve for the set at 25-24. Rotation 4 receive for the flow. Got to think about Kaliakamoa here. You don't have to. Serve missed out of bounds. Overtime continues. Chicago with the narrow advantage. And it will be Tanner Maxwell serving. Wow, Amir Lugo Rodriguez right through the uprights. I think that went right through Langston Payne's arms. 26-25 set point Icemen. Lugo Rodriguez to serve for a 2-0 lead. Good pass by Riley. DeWeese out of the back row. What a dig by Lugo Rodriguez. Richard, though, sends it out of bounds. Oh, my goodness. The Icemen might be thinking about that one. That was a ridiculous defensive play, especially by a middle blocker. But speaking of middle blockers serving, here's Langston Payne. Keeps this float serve alive. Thomas to Slavinsky against one blocker, and he's stuffed straight down by Kaliakamoa. 1-on-1. Joe K comes up with the stuff block. 27-26, now set point flow. Drama. Perfect pass by Merck. Slavinsky again, dug by Payne, and that's not coming back. Overtime continues. I love the repeat set to Slavinsky. But now the Flow have the advantage. Perfect pass. Deweese, beautiful dig. Is this coming back? No, it is not. Barajas can't chase it down into the bleachers. Another kill for Randy Deweese at his set point flow again, and look who's back to serve. Joe Kaliakamoa. What serve does he choose here? Float, spin, hybrid? Who does he target? Could this be it? Not a good pass. Slavinsky's going to have to figure something out here, and he can't. He tries to initiate the joust, but Nestor Payne throws it to the floor, and the River City Flow come back and steal set number 2. They fight off so many set points. Randy Deweese goes on the heroic service run, and at 29-27, we've got a best of 3 from here on out to decide the champion. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Rob St. Clair. Once again, in between sets, take a little break here before even more incredible volleyball coming up. At least 2 more sets, very similar to the women's final, which was also tied 1-1 with the fun overtime in the second. I got some good ball here, but as this tournament kind of comes to a close, I think now there's only one other match going on in the other corner of the gym other than this one. Gym starts to quiet down a little bit, and we kind of can wrap our heads around what we've just accomplished as a league. There's so many people to thank for everything that we've done this weekend. Already thanked Michael and Kyung Wooten from the Team Woot crew that have come up with all their equipment to help us broadcast this thing. Not an easy undertaking with 9 courts of action for 3 straight days. Amazing work by everybody who's helped us broadcast all these games and has helped us manage this whole tournament in general. Big thanks to the entire VLA board of directors for helping to put this thing together. Specifically Vince Zanzuki, Tim Faulkner, Chris Hosley, Loy Ball, who has certainly had his fingerprints all over this tournament, Will Foley. Thank you again to the Madtown Juniors Volleyball Club for their support of the VLA and for hosting us at this incredible facility they've built. We really hope this is not the last time that we're here, because this is a uniquely outstanding and capable facility of hosting an event like this. So we appreciate all of their efforts in making this event awesome. Appreciate so many of our partners. Novice Clothing Company was here on site. They sold out of all their VLA Cup gear instantly. Fortunately, if you go onto our website, you can find a link to order some more from the 2024 VLA Cup collection from our great partners at Novice. Shout outs to Mikasa, our volleyball supplier. Shout out to Stat Together, one of our live streaming and database partners, who would be completely impossible to do any of this without them. Thank you to the Junior Volleyball Association, to AAU, to, man, we've got so many new partners now. I hope I don't forget anyone. To Lumen Sports. I'll make sure I get a proper list to thank all of our sponsors and partners. But it's been a big event. I'm really proud of how all this has gone. I know the entire league is as well. We thank you again for watching, and we're not done yet. We got at least 2 more awesome sets of volleyball, and it looks like we're ready to go here at set number 3. Underway with a pretty good slow down block touch for the Icemen. Where does Thomas go in transition? Richard out of the back row, stepped on the attack line. Back row attack violation. One nothing flow in the third. Kaliakamoa to serve. Overpass forced. Moser doesn't handle it flawlessly, but Deweese finds some space down the line. Somehow Thomas gets 2 hands on that, but that ball is not touched by the block. The set starts with 2 errors by Lewis Richard. How do the Icemen respond to this? They had set number 2. They really had it in the bag, and then it was stolen from them by the flow. Not a great pass by Overby. He's going to have to do something special here, and he does. He's able to tool the block out of bounds. Chicago on the board with Zach Bultice, the middle blocker, back at the line. Nice float serve working on Moser. Now he gets the ball on the right side, sends it over with 2 hands. That ball did not hit the antenna. I don't believe that it did. Wow. Yeah, I don't agree with that call. That ball did not hit the antenna. That ball hit the tape near the antenna. But yeah, I do not agree with that. And the flow, I think, just caught a break. I'm standing right behind that sideline. I could see that pretty clearly. Moser back to serve, see how River City capitalizes. Slavinsky out of the back row on the right side takes a rip and doesn't find anything. No hands, no court. And I'm looking at the body language on the ICEMEN side right now, and I'm not loving what I'm seeing. Oh, wow, that serve for Moser was not even close. Thomas for the ICEMEN. Rotation 2 receive for the flow. Maxwell, Payne, and DeWeese front court attacking options. That is a rocket of a serve, and no stopping that. Nothing Tanner Maxwell could do. Ace serve, Sunil Thomas having his fingerprints on this thing from the baseline. One of the most productive servers in the league. You'll be seeing his name potentially on an all-tournament list for this event, but also potentially on an all VLA list at the end of the season. Beautiful pass. Not a great set, though, but DeWeese flexes as he wins the joust against Overby. Ball was set low and tight, and Randy DeWeese did the only thing he could. He threw Kyle Overby to the floor. Not a particularly good serve by Nestor Payne. Overby serving. Who's going to electrify this gym? Getting a little quiet as some of the other matches in the other courts have wrapped up here lately. That ball hit out of bounds by Maxwell. Looking for the line, didn't catch the cord of the fingertips. We're tied at 5. Beautiful pass by Riley. And that ball is down in front of Thomas. Couldn't quite get underneath it in time. DeWeese, the hero of the second set with the late service run, unleashes one there. Handled pretty well by Overby. Slavinsky against 2 blockers. Incredible coverage. And this is still alive somehow, but just out of bounds as it's sent over on the 3rd contact by Thomas. It was not out by much. Some crashing of some chairs and benches on the ICEMEN sideline. DeWeese unleashes again. This time Overby can't handle it. Randy DeWeese from the service line has almost single-handedly put the River City Flow in the position that they're in right now, tied 1-1 and leading here in the 3rd. Beautiful pass that time by Merck. Lugo Rodriguez in the middle, didn't connect perfectly. The transition scramble is on. Maxwell takes a swing, but Richard shuts the door. And the ICEMEN sideline celebrates with a little bit of relief in the flavor of that as DeWeese is off the baseline. Perfect pass. Maxwell off speed. Baited the blockers into the net, and it would have found the floor anyway. Tanner Maxwell been a nice difference maker for the River City Flow, starting in the 2nd set at outside hitter. how far Slavinsky is up in the court trying to hand pass this float serve. Still gets on his platform though. Rolled into the block and right on top of the net where Zach Bultice was waiting. Fortunate bounce right there for the Chicago ICEMEN. Perfect pass by Riley as usual, and no problem for Langston Payne in the middle. Up so fast. And the ICEMEN blockers way late, as you would expect, unless they're running a full commit situation there. (10-7) flow lead. Langston Payne to keep this serve in play. Ooh, Slavinsky a little early to that ball. Not super cleanly handled. Deweese, though, with a hittable chance. Dug by Richard, out of the net. Now right on top of the net. Another amazing dig. Overby takes a swing. Nice block touch by Nestor Payne to slow it down. Beautiful rip by Moser on the left side. And you can see how much respect Joe Kaliakamoa commands when he's up there in the front court. He's drawing so much block attention so that when he chooses to dish it, he's getting one-on-ones everywhere. That's the benefit of an offensive setter. Perfect pass there. Richard out of the back row is thunderously blocked. Straight down by Trent Moser. Oh my goodness. Wow, sometimes in volleyball a point is worth more than a point, and that one right there is going to have ripple effects throughout this gym, throughout this tournament, as the ICEMEN need timeout, trailing by 5 and on their heels, especially after a block like that. How do the Chicago ICEMEN recapture the momentum? They might be thinking that they let set number 2 slip away. I would probably think that if I was them. They just got thunderously blocked and are forced into a timeout, but that certainly helps. They get one back for free on the Langston Payne service error. Slavinsky's got to get himself back into this match. I was going to say he could do it there from the service line, but no such luck. That went into the middle of the net. Off the tape, handled nicely by Overby on that serve. One-on-one chance. Deweese with a very good blocking move, but Overby gets the favorable deflection. 9 serving 13. Rotation 1 receive here for the flow. I'm not sure if that was intentional by Moser or not. If so, I do not understand that choice. So now the ICEMEN have a great look in transition, or do they? Weird scramble here. Overby with the hittable ball, and he comes up short. I do not know anything that happened in that rally right there. I honestly think Trent Moser sent that first contact over on purpose. I thought he could catch Bultice sleeping. He did not, but the ICEMEN failed to capitalize. That one hurts. Moser comes up short once again from the baseline. See if Thomas can ignite the Icemen. That is an excellent rip. Tight pass. Maxwell high off the block of Richard. In textbook fashion, the River City Flow achieves side out, and now Liam Maxwell in to serve for Nestor Payne. Perfect pass by Slavinsky. Overby crushed off the block of Maxwell. Beautiful touch. Now transition chance to Weiss, a little outside the antenna. Blocked, covered. And Maxwell comes up short on the off speed. Can Kyle Overby deliver some service pressure here? Excellent pass by Moser, and Payne destroyed in the middle. Wrist away with a little bit of a stare down as well. I love to see it. And if the Icemen want a chance in this set, right now they trail by 5. They must side out this ball right now. Perfect pass by Merck. Richard, one-on-one, bombs away cross court. That certainly helps. DeWeese is just serving the ball with so much confidence right now. Oof, a bad service error there from Lugo Rodriguez. The Icemen collapsed their reception unit, and a similarly bad service error there by Maxwell. Not the highest level of serving of all time displayed here in this third set. Perfect pass there. Deweese out of the back row. Nice slow down touch. Amazing stab by Overby. Bultice, though, doesn't handle it particularly well. He puts it right on top of the net where Langston Payne throws it down. Missed opportunity there. Even if you're a middle blocker, you've got to be ready and able to handle that ball, put it in a decent position for one of your teammates. And now Sam Albus comes in to serve off the bench for his River City Flow franchise. A serve. Albus contributes in a big way off the bench. It's not like he's any stranger to being the guy for this River City Flow team. He was the only opposite on the roster when they won the Central Division Cup in Cincinnati in March. Played outstanding. Started at opposite in the semifinal of this tournament where they swept Team LVC, the reigning Tier 1 champions. This time Albus cuts it short. Icemen searching for answers. Slavinsky cross court gives him a little. (14-19). Slavinsky serving. Kawayakamoa, the front court setter here. Off the tape. Moser is there. Good slow down block touch, but Slavinsky nowhere near deep enough on defense to run that ball down. First ball side out percentages sky high for the River City Flow in this third set. Overpassed by Overby, and Trent Moser makes no mistake about that. (20-14), the most lopsided set we've seen so far. It looks like the River City Flow are going to take a 2-1 lead in this championship match. Kawayakamoa would certainly like that serve back. Doesn't hurt him tremendously on the scoreboard. is Tim Faulkner once again off the bench to serve. Got to provide a spark somehow. Good block touch there against Payne. Transition chance. Overby pounded down the line. That's a little more like it. That's a little more exciting, explosive volleyball. A little more extended rally action. I like it. The fans like it. The ICEMEN like it. Rotation 1 receive again for the flow with Moser on the right, DeWeese on the left. Ooh, good float service pressure there from Faulkner. Wow, what a good cross-court shot, though, by DeWeese. I thought Lugo Rodriguez was all over that, and I think he might have thought the same thing. So service specialist substitution undone on the ICEMEN side. Kind of a sloppy error there from Moser, but again, it doesn't hurt the flow at this point. All the pressure here is on the ICEMEN to make some plays here late and force something that resembles a comeback. Chop serve attempt by Thomas misses out of bounds. Nobody can have just this whole third set's just kind of stuck in neutral. High hard rip there from Overby down the line. Very nicely gets the ICEMEN out of rotation 1. As Dave Hancock is here in the crowd, their terrific outside hitter who suffered a knee injury the first match of the season. The ICEMEN certainly miss his presence. Perfect pass there by Maxwell. Moser out of the back row, comes up short. Tried to hit a spectacular highlight reel angle and the net got in the way. 19-23. Pretty important point right here, at least in the context of this third set. Pretty good pass by Riley. Maxwell had the blockers chasing from the very beginning. What a fantastic set by Joe Kawiakamoa. Richard was nowhere close to being able to slow that down. And that brings up set point flow, 24-19, take a 2-1 lead. Who else but DeWeese back to serve. Amazing pass by Merck. The roll shot is red. Kawiakamoa takes a swing and off the block and out of bounds. Goes Joe K, the several-time MVP of tournaments in the VLA Cup Series. His newest team, the River City Flow, is up 2-1 in the 2024 VLA Cup Final over the Chicago ICEMEN. Ooh, I don't know if my camera alignment's the same as it was. That's okay. What's up, everybody? This is Rob St. Clair. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for watching this match. Thank you all for watching this tournament. Thanks all for just supporting adult and professional volleyball in the United States. This has been a real big event. It's been real fun to be here. It's been real fun to watch so many of these teams So many stories. I mean, all the way back on day one, I'm not kidding you when I say this was one of the greatest volleyball moments I have ever seen in person. Situation was the Indiana Team Pineapple, under the leadership of the legendary Volleyball, who was suiting up and playing as their only setter at age 52. Not only was he playing at age 52, he was playing with his son Dyer on his team with him for the first time since 2020, the first event in VLA history. Sure enough, a 52-year-old setter in Team Pineapple finds himself battling a Tier 1 Founding 5 rival in Team LVC. They find themselves deep in a second set that ends up going the distance to set the all-time record for longest set in VLA history at 49-47. And Volleyball himself came up with the one-on-one block to win that set. The following set, his son Dyer came up with the ace serve in overtime to win the match. Like that, you can't script it any better than that. So this tournament has delivered moments like that. It's delivered 4 unbelievable quarterfinal games that were all going on at the same time last night. That was electric. The ICEMEN beat the Ascension. The Flow beat the Nash Villains. Swede beat Team 9. Team LVC beat the Milwaukee Dive. Those were 4 terrific games. We had some amazing drama in the women's tournament, a great final, a bunch of crazy 5-setters. Again, 49-47. We had 44-42 earlier today. This has been an all-time tournament. A lot of good stuff going on, a lot of great memories for everybody who's been here in Madison, who's been watching from all over the place. So thank you guys again. The question is, do we have one more set of volleyball or do we have 2? About to find out. Set number 4 underway. The River City Flow out of Richmond, Virginia on the near side in white had an overpass swing chance, but it was dug by Colin Merck and then converted. Lewis Richard out of the back row off practically no approach. Found a way to take a swing at that ball. That's like stealing. 1 point there for the Chicago ICEMEN to start set 4, and hopefully that's a little more of a tone setter. That set 3 was not the greatest volleyball that this league has ever produced. Hopefully this set 4 will be. Rotation 1 receive. Moser jumps and puts his hands on that ball. DeWeese deep cross court and perfectly located in the position 5 corner. Trent Moser back to serve, youngest player on either team. I think he's only 20, which is incredible, getting this experience already. Richard out of the back row, coming alive a little bit for the ICEMEN. He started the 3rd set with 2 errors. Now he started the 4th set with 2 excellent swings for ICEMEN kills, 2-1 lead. Nice pressure there by Thomas, working down the line on Maxwell. Maxwell, though, gets up. That is an incredible individual effort. Stumbling to his left to pass that ball and available to take a swing. And then terminating that very swing. That was a pretty special play by number 4 in white. Did I mention he played most of his career at the setter position. Beautiful pass by Merck against Payne. Lugo Rodriguez in the middle, through 2 blockers barely, and it trickles over the net and scores. Perfect pass by Moser. And DeWeese chisels off the left hand of Richard. He couldn't quite seal the line in time. Easy first ball side out there. At least it looked easy for the River City Flow. DeWeese now back to serve. Looking to have an early impact from the baseline on this 4th and potentially deciding set of the tournament. Wow. Right on cue. Talk about an impact. That particular volleyball might never be the same. Flo take the lead with authority. Can Deweese do it again? Not quite. Very close. That thing had a nasty wrist-away tail on it. It just missed the sideline. Lugo Rodriguez back to serve. The middle blocker out of Long Beach State. Currently assisting the UCLA women's program. Look at that two-handed throwdown from Joe Kaliakamoa. Man, has to have the far and away all-time VLA record for kills at the setter position. Probably got more double-digit point games than any setter, maybe anywhere ever. So offensive. Overby hammering out of the back row. Really nice read, too. He had enough time to see that the block of Langston Payne dove to take his wrist away shot away. Turned it across the body and terminated. Here's Slavinsky. He's got to have more of an impact on this fourth set for the Icemen. He doesn't have one there. Good reception there against the float serve of Payne. Beautiful scoop by Deweese, but a net touch. A net touch against the River City block negated what could have been a transition chance. (6-6). Who's going to separate here early in the fourth? Good pass by Maxwell. Huge block by Zach Boltais. That certainly helps. The ball came out of Kaliakamoa's hands a little bit floatier and a tiny bit slower than I think I'm used to seeing. Gave Zach Boltais time to seal that cross court away. The Icemen block wakes up a little bit here in the fourth. Perfect pass. Deweese out of the back row. Excellent touch cross court. That is brought back by Thomas legally. Kaliakamoa to Moser. This time he catches Boltais diving way late. And no chance he can slow that one down. More of the respect that Joe Kaliakamoa commands as a front court setter. That is why that block was nowhere close. Tied up at 7. And pass by Overby down the line. Ball a little bit underset to Boltais. Chance in transition. Moser rolled. Overby is there. Slavinsky out of the back row on the right side. Comes up empty. Not a good looking swing there for number 6 in blue. Bad hand contact. Missed opportunity there for Chicago. Ooh, Overby's off speed is too easily read by Kaliakamoa. Now Moser into the antenna off the attack. Missed opportunity there for the flow to really deliver a counter punch, and we're tied up at 8. Moser way up at the attack line receiving in rotation 1, trying to hand pass this ball. Goes to Maxwell instead. Deweese ripped down the line off the edge of the block of Thomas. Sunil Thomas is a very good blocker, but he's only about 6'1", and Deweese at easily 6'5", if not bigger. Listed at 6'6" on the roster I'm looking at as a good matchup over there. Wow, what a great pass. Lewis Richard, though, comes flying out of the back row, and Randy Deweese comes out of nowhere to slam the door of the stuff block. What an incredible reaction by Deweese. That's insane. Nestor Payne was nowhere to be found there. That was just a desperation dive by number 14 in white, and a huge breakpoint stuff block for the flow. 10-8. Nice fight off pass there by Richard. Overby against the one-on-one. Nothing Deweese could do to contain that one that time. But man, the blocking moves that Randy Deweese is making life pretty hard on the Chicago ICEMEN. Here's Thomas. Good dodge there by Maxwell. Liam Maxwell, not Tanner Maxwell, but Liam Maxwell comes in here for the flow to serve. So they got two guys named Maxwell, two guys named Payne. I'm trying to keep it straight for you all. Surprisingly early how the flow has been using this service substitution in most of the sets. Typically you see teams wait till kind of the end of the set to put guys in off the bench to serve like that. Lugo Rodriguez blocked. Slavinsky now out of system against two blockers. Challenges Payne and gets rejected. Langston Payne and Randy Deweese combined for the brick wall block. 12-9 River City. Liam Maxwell off the bench has done a terrific job serving, and a timeout called by Chicago. (12-9) flow and up 2-1. Out of the timeout, Liam Maxwell again, 3-point lead. What sort of answers did the ICEMEN find in that break? Overby on the right side, over the block, looking for a touch and did not find it. Oh yes he did, excuse me. Touch is called. I thought I saw a touch in real time. It was called instantly by the up official, so Overby does take that point for Chicago, a much needed one. Can Overby get back into this game from the service line? Yes, he can. Look at that. I think if there's one guy you kind of want to target if you're the Chicago ICEMEN, it is Trent Moser. He's a big kid, a young outside hitter. Receiving serve at this level is a skill that we'll kind of see if he has. I wouldn't say the ICEMEN have challenged him very much. Certainly a challenging one there. Excellent fight off there by Tanner Maxwell. Tipped over the top, play made by Thomas. Right on top of the net though for Deweese. He takes out the garbage, no problem, off the block of Richard. Deweese doesn't get the usual amount of rotations per minute of topspin on that one. And the ICEMEN can happily move on with that service error. Nice run to Payne in the middle. Just so effortlessly gets up in the air, does Langston Payne, and is up quick too. A lot of open space on the opposing side of the court when you play with so much speed. Tanner Maxwell. Richard crushed against the one-on-one. That ball is in. Absolutely the right call. Right on the sideline from Lewis Richard. And now an interesting substitution. Luke Spicer, number 11 in blue, the backup opposite out of Dominican University, good Division III program near Chicago. In to serve for Slavinsky, I believe. And he will play. Oh, wow, he's staying on the ground and float serving as well, and it's a good one. A float service ace for Luke Spicer? Wow, I did not have that on my bingo card for the match. That came out of nowhere. That one was sick, too. It dropped really off the cliff right after it crossed the plane of the net. The Icemen, yeah, they tie it up at 14 there. The scoreboard catches up. Pushed all the way to the outside to Moser. Good high flat swing, but Overby is there. Bull Tyson transition, punches it through the block and down. Wow, of all people to generate a service run, it is Luke Spicer's float serve for the Chicago Icemen that's gotten them the lead. I really did not see that coming. What a great choice by Tim Faulkner and this Icemen team. Rotation 2 received for the flow. Oh, Spicer tried to tag the baseline, missed it out of bounds, and he's going to stay in at the opposite position. So now it is Richard and Overby lined up as the outside hitters, and Spicer lined up as the opposite. Speaking of opposites, Sam Albus, the backup, at least for this match, comes in to serve and try and retake the lead. Excellent pass. And beautifully put away by Bull Tyson in the middle again. Another substitution, Jack McGuire, number 12 in light blue. The backup setter at 6'6", also out of Dominican, in for Sunil Thomas to block and also set the next couple rotations. I definitely like this substitution, but not when you float serve a ball into the net. That is an unacceptable service error there from Lewis Richard, and now the substitution is undone. Wow, big time put away cross court by Kyle Overby. (17-16) Icemen, and now Faulkner in off the bench to serve. Icemen have used 4 of their 6 possible substitutions in this set. DeWeese. Oh, that pancake play is made. Nice play by Overby. Faulkner stays on the ground and sends it over. DeWeese again. This time Faulkner there, but couldn't handle the heat. We once again are tied. Now at 17. And that service sub is undone. So only one more substitution for the Icemen in this set. You only get 6 per set in the VLA with the international style 1-in, 1-out rule. Moser stays behind the baseline. Perfect pass there off the tape. Lugo Rodriguez on the turn in the middle. Off the defensive effort of Kaliakamoa and into the side wall. 1 point Icemen lead again. For Sunil Thomas. Goes to the backcourt, ball in hand. Could this be a turning point? Not this time. all. You can feel the tension in this building. All the eyes in the tournament on this match right here. Are we going 5 or is the cup going to the East Coast? Spicer's first swing is out of bounds on the left side. Wow, of all the times to give Luke Spicer his first swing of the match, rotation 1 is a very interesting choice. He over-rotates down the line just barely, and the Flow retake the lead. That serve by Nestor Payne had no chance. Tie game once again, Overby serving, but now it's the flow with the narrow advantage that they retook on that Spicer error. Ooh, Moser generates an overpass. There goes Luke Spicer. That'll get him into the game. A nice, easy overpass swing generated by Kyle Overby's serve, and the ICEMEN retake the advantage now. This is going to come down to the absolute wire, and it's only the 4th set. Overby again. Pretty good pass by Maxwell. Payne in the middle somehow. Oh no, I thought he tucked that ball through the block. He came up short. That ball never cleared the net. The ICEMEN grab a huge break point. Unforced error, that connection. I don't know, that ball maybe set a tiny bit too low. 21-19. That's massive if you're a Chicago fan. Oh, Moser stabs that, and another overpass put away this time by Lewis Richard. 22-19. What a run by Kyle Overby. This has to be a timeout for the flow, and it is. 22-19 Chicago with their backs against the wall. Could we maybe be going 5 for the VLA Cup? Last year, the VLA Cup final was a sweep. 2 years ago, I think it was a sweep. No, 2 years ago, it was a 4-set match. Trying to dig back in my personal VLA history archives in my head. We've got them all written down as well, of course. But as far as VLA history is concerned, we've got a lot of it that has been written this weekend. We had the longest set of all time. 49-47, we have the biggest tournament of all time in 42 teams. The most number of matches in a weekend of all time at 111. Biggest and best facility and broadcast of all time, at least all things considered. This is definitely a record-setting event, and this final so far is delivering appropriately. What's going to happen next? Who's writing the next chapter? Overby out of the timeout gets the chance, puts good pressure on Moser. It's a perfect pass. Maxwell through the block is dug by Barajas, but a net violation by Spicer, the new blocker. We saw Chicago start the match with the 2 libero system, go away from it for a little while. They stuck with just Colin Merck as the libero in both roles for a while. Now it's Merck, the receiver, and Barajas, the defender. Deweese, a pivotal serve, goes well out of bounds long. And that I almost was afraid to even bring it up. Back what happened in set 2 as the ICEMEN had a similar lead to this. But Randy Deweese single-handedly came back to force overtime and steal it. Nice coverage. Kawiakamoa not going to be denied a second time. Takes matters into his own hands, goes through the block and down. 21-23. Tanner Maxwell. Float serve handled by Merck. Richard dug by Riley. Kawiakamoa can't quite keep it alive. So close to bringing that back in play, but he just barely ran out of room. That brings up set point for the Chicago ICEMEN. Luke Spicer came off the bench to serve. His float serve was extremely effective, and that's what he'll do here as well. 24-21, perfect pass. Payne slowed down. Barajas, Thomas to Overby for the set out of the back row off the block and out of bounds. Sure enough, ladies and gentlemen, we are going 5 for the VLA Cup title. The Chicago ICEMEN have come back from down 2-1. They were down at least 3 earlier in that 4th set. But we've got some great volleyball here, ladies and gentlemen, and the best 2 words in the sport coming up. Set 5. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Rob St. Clair behind the scenes in between sets as we set the stage for just the best thing in all of volleyball. A tournament this big. The men's division had 32 teams in it, all 8 Tier 1 teams in the same building for the only time all season. A record-setting 24 Tier 2 teams, which is incredible. And all that tournament, those 3 days of electrifying volleyball comes down to 1 set to 15, and we wouldn't have it any other way. So just to set the stage for this, the ICEMEN with a win. Well, they're qualified for the Tier 1 playoffs anyway by virtue of their terrific record, but they would guarantee themselves the #1 seed in the Tier 1 playoffs with a win in this 5th set. The River City Flow, if they win this 5th set, they win their 2nd Cup Series tournament of the year and place themselves on the doorstep of Tier 1 promotion. They get to 100 points cumulatively, or 2 or 3, division or cup wins total. They get a promotional offer immediately. Right now, the Flow's sitting at 88 points. They win this 5th set, they get 3 more points. If they lose, they get 2 more points. That would put them at least 90. So this team is darn close to a promotional bid. So a ton on the line for this Flow franchise, a ton on the line for the Chicago ICEMEN just to carry the whole Tier 1 level on their back, and including the founding 5 franchises, of which they are one. Ton of drama here as teams have been going back and forth, punches and counter punches. Let me know in the YouTube live chat who you're rooting for. It's been a real lively conversation, which I love to see. And best 2 words in all of volleyball, set 5. 1st to 15 to get 2 points clear, takes the VLA Cup. Starting on the far side of the net in light blue, the Chicago ICEMEN, founding 5 VLA franchise, and on the near side from Richmond, Virginia, the River City Flow, Tier 2 squad from the East Coast. And that ball is missed out of bounds by Randy DeWeese on the right side. His teammates were begging for a touch, but Randy himself was not. I think the hitter knows when he got the deflection and when he didn't. The ICEMEN draw first blood in the 5th. First to get to 15, 2 points clear, takes the VLA Cup. First team to reach 8 points triggers a switch of sides. And Tanner Maxwell goes high and hard on the left side to equalize at 1. And the Flow starting a rotation such that their first server is none other than Randy DeWeese. Ace serve. Unbelievable fire from the right arm of number 14 in white. The ICEMEN break point answered by the DeWeese ace serve. 2-1, and every point on serve magnified so much more in a set only to 15. DeWeese comes up just short there, but an excellent trip to the line. You will always take 1 ace, 1 error. That is a terrific ratio. Zach Bull-Tice, his first VLA season in the middle for the ICEMEN. Float serve, working on Trent Moser. Langston Payne in the middle, up high, and gets a ball that's high enough for him to turn it across his body for the kill. Maxwell's float serve, handled decently by Richard. Over the top of 2 blockers and out of bounds, no touch. By the way, it is Luke Spicer who starts at opposite in this 5th set. Matt Slavinsky is on the bench. Not a good pass by Richard. Spicer keeps it alive, almost scores. Riley dives to keep it up off the floor. Lugo Rodriguez blocks Moser, but it's covered. Ooh, not a good set there from Kali Akamoa. Not a great bump set there by Colin Merck either. Now Kali Akamoa in good position. One-on-one, tip straight down the line by Moser. That is some sloppy ball handling from both teams. The Flow wins the point. It's a 5-2 early lead, but you can tell the 5th set nerves getting to both these teams. Huge Side out needed right here for the Icemen. Overby, stuffed straight down by Kaliakamoa. Pain there as well, 6-2. What a start for the Flow. Time out, Icemen. Man, you blink for a split second after the start of the 5th set, and already it's a 4-point River City lead. The Flow has been great in 5th set situations this year. They won the Central Division Cup final in 5 over the Milwaukee Dive, who just recently clinched promotion to Tier 1 in the Central Division. They won a crazy match yesterday morning against Team Pineapple in 5 dramatic sets. What is going to happen here? Tanner Maxwell. Good pass by Richard. Overby, not to be denied this time, somehow finds a sliver of space down the line. Side out achieved for the Icemen, but now work to do on the serve of Sunil Thomas. Got my eye on Luke Spicer, came in off the bench late in the 4th at the opposite position for Chicago. He's been streaky throughout this season, either tremendous or not as good. What's going to be here in the 5th? Not a good service effort there from Thomas. Liam Maxwell in off the bench to serve, as he has done since the 2nd set. He's been productive. Trickles off the tape. Merck underneath it. Overby on the right side now, off the effort of Moser and out of bounds. Good looking late reach, but not good enough. Nice set from Sunil Thomas off a tricky situation pass. 7-4 Flow, one side out, and we will have the side switch. There's the run of Kyle Overby at the service line that helped the Icemen push set number 4 over the finish line. Here he is again in a 3-point hole. Pretty good pass, really a perfect one. Moser somehow finds space down the line, similarly to Overby's last swing. That space was not easy to find, and we will switch sides here. Yes, I don't think we caught the fact that the Flow are at 8 points. Yes, they are. Side change. Eight for River City. Joe Kaliakamoa, the mercenary of the VLA, has played for at least 4 different VLA teams. There's a Thanos-like inevitability about this man in championship matches. Can the Icemen make a comeback? Spicer's first swing on the right side, not great hand contact, good dig. Moser rolled, Merck is there. It's back to the Flow side though. Moser again, good slow down block touch by Amir Lugo Rodriguez, but a miscommunication between Merck and Thomas. Oh my goodness. I'm looking at Matt Slavinsky. He's rubbing his right knee on the Icemen bench. And his team trails by 5. Richard, what a diving dig by Riley, but it goes under the net and can't be brought back. River City leads by 4 in a 5th set. That lead is enormous, but anything is possible, especially with all that's on the line. Rotation 1 received for the Flow. DeWeese over the block, dug by Overby. Nice bump set. Richard with a hittable ball, and he puts it away. What a bump set by Sunil Thomas. That was a gem. Leaning over the bleachers on the right sideline of your camera view. puts up a beauty for Lewis Richard. 3-point game. Kawiakamoa to Deweese again. That ball through a seam in the block off of Overby and out of here. The flow reaches double digits and sends 20-year-old Trent Moser back to the service line. What a pass by Merck. Destroyed in the middle by Zach Boltice. A monstrous kill for number 14 in blue, and a clutch first ball side out for the ICEMEN as Jack McGuire comes in, the backup setter at 6'6", to provide some blocking presence. We'll swap out the volleyball for a drier one. 3-point ICEMEN deficit. Luke Spicer came in off the bench midway through the fourth. Was productive with his float serve. That's a pretty good one there too. Maxwell is stuffed straight down. Look at that, Jack McGuire, fresh off the bench, making a huge impact. The big setter out of Dominican dives to take the line away and comes up with a pivotal point for the ICEMEN. Spicer again, just a 2-point game now. Another good float serve. All the way back to Deweese. Rolled, Spicer stabs at it. McGuire is there, but that is outside the court behind the up official stand, and I think knocked over a garbage can in the process. And Jack McGuire is going to stay in the front court and set for at least one rotation. Teams using their benches, looking for every tiny little edge they can get in a situation like this, including Sam Albus, the River City founder and captain, off the bench to serve right now. Just barely out of bounds down the line. Wow. That was so close. Jack McGuire still in at the front court for one more rotation. Oh, two more rotations, maybe. Richards' float service handled well. Deweese down the line, scooped by Barajas. Pretty good push to Overby, and he tools the block out of bounds. What a dig by Enrique Barajas. Clutch. 1-point game. It was 5 a split second ago. Oh my goodness, a trickler. Somehow it stays alive. And Deweese on the second contact takes a swing. You gotta be kidding me with that. I can't believe that ball was able to crawl over the net like that, and huge credit to Langston Payne for the awareness to get underneath it. Jack McGuire stays into set for one more rotation for the ICEMEN, but look who's serving. Could this man deliver the dagger? He tries. Free ball chance for the flow. Kawiakamoa is in the front court. Maxwell slowed down nicely by McGuire. Kawiakamoa again, thrown down and dug. Spicer missed it out of bounds. A crucial hitting error after Chicago did tremendous work on defense to stay in that point. It is 13-10, time out, ICEMEN. Incredible drama. The ICEMEN knew that Joe Kawiakamoa was going to try and take this whole tournament into his own hands. They defended it well, but they missed it out of bounds when they had the counterattack chance. Now what can they talk about to develop an advantage? You must side out first. Every point in volleyball is a 2-point swing, but there's nothing that feels more massive than the difference between 13-11 and 14-10 in a fifth set. And look who's serving. Randy Deweese. He went on a run to steal set 2. His serve is just demoralizing. Can he keep one in play here? No, he can't. Tim Faulkner, MVP of the 2021 VLA season when the ICEMEN won their second straight championship. Off the bench to serve. Joe Kawiakamoa is a front court setter. Jack McGuire is still in as the front court blocking setter for Chicago. And he makes a good defensive play. Overby, straight over the block. Deweese can't handle it on defense. The ICEMEN are very much alive, and the ability of Jack McGuire, who now twice has dug Joe Kawiakamoa's setter dump attempts, has been enormous off the bench. 1 point game. The Flow will take all the time they need to clean up their side. Maybe more than all the time they need, given what's on the line. Does Kawiakamoa still look to attack first? And if not, who does he go to? 12 serving 13. Faulkner puts a good serve in play. Deweese out of the back row is perfect. Deep cross court and perfect. Championship point. The River City Flow 1 point away from taking their second trophy home of the season. Jack McGuire stays in as the front court setter for the ICEMEN. Tanner Maxwell to serve for the VLA Cup. Overby against two blockers is stuffed straight down. Langston Payne has delivered the killing blow. And one of the all-time great dramatic matches in the history of this tournament series. A fifth set that had everything. It is the River City Flow out of Richmond, Virginia, who take home their second VLA Cup Series trophy of the season. What a tremendous match and an ending to a phenomenal record-setting tournament, and there is nothing left to do now but to deliver the VLA Cup trophy. I will do so. Stick around for some celebrations. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it. That will do it. Thank you all so much for watching the entire weekend. Congratulations to both the River City Flow and the Midwest Magic. for their VLA Cup trophies, and for every team, all 42 teams, for participating in the largest event we've ever thrown. Thank you all for following along all weekend long. I'm Rob St. Clair from Madison, Wisconsin. Next up for the VLA, the last West Division Tier 1 regular season event of the season next weekend in Long Beach, California. 2 weeks after that, June 9th weekend in Cincinnati, Ohio, the Tier 1 playoff event, the Tier 2 playoff event, and the women's playoff event, all together in one. A lot more coming from everything VLA related. I'm Rob St. Clair signing off.